It's not just radio, it's Rockland World Radio. RocklandWorldRadio.com.
So I am local, at a local place for my On the Road 2020. I am at O'Donoghue's Tavern here in Nyack. So if you don't know what it is, they're open for lunch and dinner. They are farm to table and organic. They're gluten-free and they have vegan options, just so you know. You can follow them on Facebook. Just go to OD's Tavern and you can follow them here on Facebook. They are at 66 Main Street in Nyack. All right, so before I start being your voice of reason for all this craziness, I'm going to share what I posted on Twitter. Now, because I think this is a good idea. Flower, okay. I think this is a good idea. Okay, so I have to find my tweets because I saved everything. Dun dun dun, likes. So I liked my own tweet just so I can read it. All right, let me see. Where is it? This is my problem. I have to just look. Hold on, it's coming. I know this is how life is these days, you know. Okay, so fear of the coronavirus, it's actually COVID-19, is keeping people away from local restaurants, right? Who usually operate on small margins. So go to your favorite restaurant, okay? Get a gift certificate directly at the restaurant. So spend $50, or give $100, $50 or $100. Don't get $20 or $25. That's cheap. Give them $50 or $100 and get yourself a gift certificate for a local restaurant, okay? And then this way they have that money for a month or two, right? And then when this all clears up, maybe like in a month, or even when it gets warmer out in May, come back with that gift certificate that you purchased from that local restaurant and use it at that local restaurant. So you're going to buy a gift certificate for yourself to use at a local restaurant in your town to help them. I mean, if you want, you could do that to 3 or 4 restaurants and spend some money and give their money to the local restaurants because they desperately need money because people are not eating out as much anymore. The staff needs it. It's good to help other people. It's good to pick it forward, and it's a good idea. So that's just what I'm sharing with you. All right. So here we are on March 12th, 2020, the day before Friday the 13th, when sports in this country has now sat still. There's no basketball. There's no baseball. There's no hockey right now. Everything is on hold right now because of the coronavirus. All right. Now, a lot of people brought up to me today about, about what Boomer and Gio said this morning on their show. I have to find what they said. Dun, 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 dun. SARS, definitely, which is part of the coronavirus, by the way. SARS was part of the coronavirus. SARS killed and affected way more people, was a global was globally, a pandemic, but nothing was ever canceled. And I mentioned, yes, but an NBA player never got it, or a celebrity never got it. Hence why there's cancellations, because players got it. And speaking of that, boy, does Rudy look great. Doesn't he look great? Thinking it was a joke 2 days ago, right? Thinking it was a freaking joke 2 days ago. And now, because of his, and then jokingly touching all the table where all the reporters' devices were and the mics were, and pretending he had coronavirus, and now 2 days later, he has it and he's given it to his teammate. I don't think he only has given it to one teammate. I think they're keeping it under wraps. I think more than one teammate has it. Because supposedly what I've heard is he was very touchy-feely in the locker room and he was touchy-feely with his teammates. And that's how it spreads. And I've also done, you did not know me, I have done tons of research this week, just alone on this virus. So My piece, I could have written it for this blog that I write for called Vocal and gotten paid for that piece. I purposely put it on my own blog because I didn't want to get paid for it, because I just wanted the information to be out there, because I feel as though so many people are posting on social media the wrong information. There's tons of wrong information being posted. Now, let me find Facebook. Let me see. I have to save my saved. Okay, so I saved this post that I saw that's false. Let's see if it's here, because sometimes when I save things to Facebook, it doesn't really save it. But this was yesterday. No, this is not my saved stuff, people. My watch list. I don't care about my watch list. I just want saved. Here we are. Okay. Here's the wrong information that's going around. There's this whole thing on Facebook going around. This is all wrong. So they said the new NCP coronavirus may not show signs of infection for many days, and how come on now, by the time they have it goes to the hospital, you're in the lungs, and then they're just trying to scare you. Tawania, experts for Taiwan, simple self-check, and this is the wrong thing. There's no such thing as a self-check, okay? Take a deep breath and hold your breath for more than 10 seconds. If you complete it successfully without coughing, without discomfort, there's no fibrosis in the lungs. No. False. This is what's happening. People are putting together posts about coronavirus, and they're sending it out there in groves. Everyone should ensure that your mouth and throat is moist, never dry, so take a few sips of water every 15. Why? Because even if the virus gets into your mouth, drinking it will wash them down. No, it won't. If it's already in your mouth, you already have it. That's why they're telling you not to do this. Now, I've worked with kids for many years. Too many years really to count. Okay. I've been exposed to tons of viruses, diseases, bacterias, everything. And what is the first thing that kids do? They touch their face. They sneeze in their hand, and then they wipe it on everything. Same with some adults, unfortunately. I've seen how some of you adults sneeze, and it's gross. But that's also part of the problem, because people are not doing what they should be doing all along. If anything that this virus has taught people, it is to wash your damn hands. Sneeze in your elbow. I mean, how many times have I preached this my whole life? I mean, half my life I've been preaching it to young kids. Now I guess I missed the boat. I should have been preaching it to adults. Okay, so you have to sneeze in your arm and your elbow. Number 1. Number 2, you have to wash your hands. Stop, first of all, using the hand sanitizer. I don't know who came up with this idea that hand sanitizer is good. First of all, it's made with alcohol, rubbing alcohol. Why would you want to put that on your skin all day long? Now, I used to do it in the classroom, but I only did it ever so often because I would wipe a kid's nose. We can't go to the sink. So I would just take a little and put it on my hands, and then when I had a free moment in my classroom, I would run to the bathroom and wash my hands. That's how you really should be using it sparingly. One of my friends just texted me, do you know where I can find hand sanitizer? Anywhere. And then people want to make their own. If you are not a scientist, don't make your own. I come to that conclusion. If you don't know, chemistry and how to mix things, don't try to make your own. You're only going to end up hurting yourself or other people, as it has been shown in the news that people are trying to make your own and they made something that burned people's eyes. I don't know why, but don't do that. Just use soap and water. Wash your hands. You touch anything, from here, where I'm at, even though it's clean, I'll go in the car. I have some hand sanitizer in my car. I'll go in my car. I'll put the hand sanitizer on my hands before I touch the steering wheel. And then when I go home, what am I going to do? Wash my hands. And that's why I have lotion. You use lotion after you wash your hands and you won't get dry skin. But if you keep using the hand sanitizer, your skin's going to get dry as the back of an alligator. I'm telling you. Hand sanitizer is not the answer. Washing your hands is the answer. And the most important thing, staying home when you're sick. I've been preaching this for years. I've been preaching this for years. Stay home when you're sick. Work is always going to be there. Work is never going to leave. School's never going to leave either. But for adults, work is always going to be there the next day. It's not as important as your health. You can't do your best work if you're sick, if you can't concentrate. If you're stuck in the bathroom for 24 hours, how the hell are you going to work anyway? Work can wait. Your health can't. You should always stay home. That means you shouldn't be in a subway. You shouldn't be on a bus. You shouldn't be on a plane. You shouldn't be anywhere when you're sick. At office, at school, at a basketball game, at a baseball game. Any kind of thing. If you're sneezing and you're coughing, I don't care if it's played outside either. Some dummy posted, well, they play outside. Yeah, so what? If I'm still sitting next to people and we're all squished like sardines, they're still touching me. They're still breathing on me. We're sharing the same armrest. It doesn't make a difference if you're outside or not. So much information has been posted that's like wrong. It's amazing, like how much information. So here's my advice. Don't get your information from social media. And when you get your information from social media, do the smart thing. It's called Google. Use it. Go on Google. Google until you can find an answer. If you can't find an answer, then don't believe what you read until you really see it again. If you see it multiple times and the media is talking about it and everybody's talking about it, it's not just one person talking about it, then okay, maybe then it's true. But research. This is what happens. And to all the people, and I know all the women especially who are in mommies groups, I think maybe, if anything, this has taught you all, stop getting advice from each other in mommy groups. I've seen people go like this. Oh, you see this scar here? Or this rash? What do you guys think it is? Do you think it's serious or not? Take your kid to the damn doctor. Why are you asking a bunch of women to become medical doctors? Take your kid to the doctor. That's what happens on social media. That's what happens on Facebook and mommy groups. It's all over every mommy group. And then we're asking other people's opinion if they have to cancel their trips. If you're scared, cancel it. If you're not, and you want to continue living your life, do it. Why do we care about other people's opinions who are not going to matter? I don't understand that. Like, I don't really care what other people are going to tell me to do. Like, they probably told me to cancel from coming in here in this restaurant. No, I feel safe enough to be in here. That's why I'm here, because I'm safe enough that I feel safe enough that I'm in here. I've been in high school locker rooms. I've been in college locker rooms. I think I am immune from anything else besides teaching preschoolers. And I am just so happy that my cheerleaders got to partake in all their competitions before all this hit the fan. So, and that's another thing. So now we have basketball off. Done. For probably, I'm going to say, for at least 3 to 4 weeks. It's going to be a little time. It's going to probably be to the end of the month. I would tell you the rest of March, there's going to be no sports. There's going to be no basketball. There's going to be no hockey. And there will be no baseball. And I can guarantee you, if they play the March Madness, they will be criticized for playing it. Because those athletes are student athletes. They do not get paid to do this. They do not get paid to do this. They should not be playing the March Madness tournament then. If they're in the same, think of it this way, they're playing in the same arenas that the NBA teams play in. If the NBA teams are not playing, why would they play? I mean, that doesn't make any sense. But the good news for basketball fans and hockey fans and baseball fans is we can play later on. So they can still have a season. They can still finish the regular season. The hockey teams can still finish the regular season and then go into the playoffs. The NBA will probably just start with the playoffs. And baseball will just be moved back, which it should be moved back anyway. I don't know why Major League Baseball decides to start the end of March. Hello, do you know what kind of weather we have here in March? We're lucky that it's 50 degrees today. But usually it's 30 freaking degrees in the end of March. Why the hell? Who wants to play baseball in 30 degrees? Stupid. So it's kind of a blessing in disguise for them because they can play later when the weather is actually warmer. But everybody has to just take a deep breath. There's no need. And then I saw on other Facebook pages, people who sell things, because there are sell pages that you can sell products and stuff on Facebook. I saw people actually saying that they were selling their toilet paper, their Clorox wipes, their Purell, and they were upping the prices. And it was also on eBay. Shame on you. Shame on you for doing that. And that's why I keep telling you, if you know where people are selling things that people can't find, keep it to yourself. Don't post it on Facebook. Oh, if you all need Purell, it's at Office Depot. Guess what people do then? They go to Office Depot in flocks, crowds, to then fight over the last stupid bottle of Purell. Then you have people who buy it and then sell it for 4 times the amount. There's no reason to do that. There's no reason to be doing all this kind of stuff and freaking out. The best thing to do is just relax, because you don't need to get stressed. We have enough stress as it is in this world. Why are we stressing ourselves out? Now, this virus is new. If you read my piece that I wrote coronavirus has been around since 1960. Right? We've had a couple of them. There's many strands. That's why this one is called 19, because there's 18 other strands of the virus. So we've all gotten through SARS and MERS and bird flu, all part of coronaviruses, FYI, for those that don't know. So if we've gotten through those, we're going to get through this one. So there's no need to freaking panic everybody and send everybody in a freaking ass frenzy. Now, I think it's smart that colleges are now having them take courses online. Schools should do the same thing. I mean, if we're canceling sporting events, why the hell are kids going to school? Hello, have anybody ever been in a school? It's a petri dish. Like I just said before, it's a petri dish of germs. Kids are germs. Even in the middle school, even in high school, they're germs. There's germs everywhere. They shouldn't go to school. Now, they should be learning from home in their Google Classrooms, because that's what is set up for most schools, is Google Classroom, which is really a really awesome thing. I've seen it actually in progress, and I've seen it work, and it really works wonderfully. And people should be having meetings using Zoom. You can download the app, by the way. The app is pretty good for your phone, for your tablet, or for your any other device, or you can just use it on your desktop or your laptop, for those who still have desktops. I don't know how many people use a desktop these days, but you can do so many different things online, and you can use social media in a positive way to communicate with other people. That's what social media is here for. It's not here to be negative and keep posting around spam, which so many people are posting, things that are inaccurate without looking things up. And then people get nervous, and then people get scared, and then people panic. People sent me this other stuff that I haven't even looked to make sure that it's accurate before I even mention it to people. Like, I don't know how long. I have to look up. I'm becoming a medical doctor this week because of all the stuff that I've looked up. I might as well go get, my mom told me I might as well go get my medical degree. Because people don't want to research. They just take the information as is posted on Facebook, as is posted on Twitter, as is posted on Instagram, and therefore, and everywhere, and even LinkedIn. They don't look at it to make sure that it's accurate. And then the best thing is, when you have accurate information out there, people then don't want to read it. Because I've had people go, well, what do you know? Well, I researched it. I took 5 days to research all this stuff on this corona, to figure out where it's coming from, how it's coming in here, where it's coming from. Now I figured out, I just read that they did a study. So, and I'm like, okay, so they're doing studies. Where's my study? I saved the study. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, scientists have demonstrated that the new virus, which is the corona now 19, the COVID, but they're dubbing it SARS-CoV-2, can be passed from human to human. Studies have also shown that some people can be infected by the virus but display few or no symptoms. This means you can be a carrier and spread it and not know it. So that's what I want to know. So did the NBA player who I'm not even mentioning his name. He does not even deserve a mention because he was so freaking stunad. Did he have it and know he had it and still spread it anyway? Because rumors were swirling even this morning that he was being too touchy-feely with all his teammates. And then when he played that little joke 2 days ago at the podium and touched everything and spread it and even mentioned, pretend I have, yeah. Yeah, I can just see lawyers on that one. So I don't know, so the Utah Jazz All-Star Rudy, whatever his name is, tested positive, but then he said that he was feeling good and strong and stable to play last night. So how did he get it? This is what I want them to tell us. How did he get it? Where did he get it from? See, this is the kind of stuff that they're keeping secret that they shouldn't keep secret, because then we would not be panic mode. How did he get it? Where did it come from? Did he know he had it? Did he know he had it? I don't think we're ever going to know that answer. But at least, where did he get it from? How long was it in his body? How long, where did it come from? Was he in an area that was exposed already? Because if you're in an area where people are exposed to it already, and you're in that area, chances are that you're exposed to it, because there's people around that have been exposed to it. So was he in an area that people were exposed to it? Where did it come from? That we don't have the answer to. People aren't letting us know that answer. And being that I've been in locker rooms before, I know how we know how the men are and the boys are in the locker room. Let me tell you, that smell, the stench is still at my nose. So there's a lot of different things that we don't know. But I'm going to tell you this, you ain't going to find it out on Facebook. You ain't going to find it out on Twitter either. And if you do, and if somebody posts something, make sure it's true before sharing it with everybody else. Because that's how scams operate, by the way, on social media all the time. People will post that, like, for example, that stupid one going around, like, 6 months ago or so, that one where it said, I'm not making another account in my name. If you see another account in my name, know that it's not me and I did not request you as a friend. That one was a hoax. But everybody was passing that one around. Or anytime anybody sends you one in your messenger that says, hold their finger down and send it to your contacts, do not do that. That's a scam. Because we don't need to be passing it around. Passing it. That's all you people do on Facebook. We pass scams around like there's no tomorrow. And misinformation. And I've seen it all week. All this week especially. So much misinformation. And then some mothers and mothers groups are passing information around going, well, I heard that the COVID test is 3 different stages. How do they know? And don't post, well, I have a friend who works here, and this friend told me, no, we don't need to hear about your friends. Because that's just passing around information that we don't know is true. And if your kids are on TikTok, don't take the advice from the people who are pretending to be nurses and doctors. Because how the hell do we know that they are true nurses and doctors on TikTok? How do we know? I don't know who the hell they are. They're not giving you their real names. They're making some fun. They're making some fun name for themselves on TikTok to stand out. And then kids, especially young kids, are on TikTok. Here's TikTok. So yeah. So I'm trying to see if I can find that one with that doctor, but I'm probably not going to even see it right now. But there was one about this nurse. This nurse was out there, and I'm like, how the hell do I know that you're a nurse? So she was telling you not to listen to the doctor from TV who does have a medical degree, and that you should wear the mask at all times, when it's been said over and over and over and over again that you don't need to wear a mask. It's not going to help you not get the virus. You wear a mask when you have the flu to prevent you from spreading it to other people. Same with this virus. So, but she's a nurse on TikTok. Oh yes, let me listen to her. On TikTok, of all places. Where I'm telling you, it's not as bad as it was 2 months ago when I told you how bad TikTok was for young kids. But it's getting there. It's getting a little bit better, but it's not a place where I can see businesses actually using it to market their business yet. It's getting there, but not yet. So let's see. Twitter. So Twitter, these are some of the things. Let me see if I can find live tweets on this. Sometimes it takes me a little while to find it, but customers and coworkers at my job keep letting me know that baseball is suspended. So people are like upset about sports. But you gotta understand, I mean, when was the last time sports were suspended in our country? The only other time I can think of was 9/11, when we didn't play for a little while, and then the Mets came back and Piazza hit that big home run. And then we had President Bush come, I believe did he come at Yankee Stadium for that game? And threw the first pitch out and had a speech on the mound. So it's been a while. But I would take this time with no sports, since you have nothing else to do now, to actually learn about the virus. Learn about what it is. Research. Don't just take people's word for it, because sometimes people say things to benefit themselves. You know, everybody has an agenda these days. Don't listen to one side and say, okay, yeah, all right, I'll listen to that, and it's wrong. So make sure you know the difference. You can always look things up. And I look things up more than just the first 2 pages of Google. I'm like on page 10, on page 11 of Google, looking stuff up, because that's where all of the actual information is. It's all the way past the first 2 pages. The first 2 pages you're going to get, you know, Channel 2, CBS, ABC, NBC, CNN, you know, all those news outlets on the first 2 pages, probably first 3. But after that, you're going to get actual news that you can actually use, research from medical journals, from scientists who actually know this stuff. So make sure you understand it and relax. There's no need to be going to Costco and buying 500 pounds of toilet paper. If you read my piece, diarrhea is not part of this virus. For adults, it's part of the virus if it's in an animal. A pet could have diarrhea, not you. So there's really no need to stock up on toilet paper. And I don't think we're all going to be quarantined. I think that's kind of ridiculous to quarantine everybody. You can't keep people from living their lives. You have to sometimes in life, you have to let things play out in order to get rid of it. I don't think people are being too smart. They're all not using common sense. And like I just tweeted to somebody, common sense these days is a superpower because not that many people actually use it. You know, like I said that in the beginning of the show, common sense, ready? If you're sick, stay home. Sick, don't go out. I don't care if it's a cold, a sinus infection. I don't care if it's a stomach thing. You're sick, you don't feel good. You should not be anywhere. Work, school, play, anything. You shouldn't be playing outside. You shouldn't be doing anything. You should be inside recovering, because that's the common sense way of handling things. Common sense. Wash your hands. I'm amazed that all this time, these people have not been washing their hands. That the soap aisle in every single supermarket is out. What the hell have you people been doing? Not washing your hands? You've been spreading germs all this time? And also, by the way, to all you environmentalist people, thank you for getting rid of the paper towels in the public restrooms and having the hand dryers, which studies have been shown that the hand dryers are filled with more bacteria. And all we do when we hand dry our hands underneath them is put more bacteria back on our hands from the feces from the toilets. So great job on that, because we don't have paper towels to actually dry our hands. So I actually had to show people in the video of how to shut the sink off. Because sometimes you don't even have this. You have to use your elbow, by the way, to shut the sink off if you have no paper towel to use. And I told people on another post on Facebook, just bring your own. That's what I do when I go out now. I make sure I have towels to dry my hands if I have to use the bathroom in public, especially when they have no paper towels and they have hand dryers, which I do not use hand dryers. They're full of bacteria. They're not going to save anything. They're not. So, but yeah, where were these people? All of a sudden now, everybody has to get hand sanitizer and soap. My God, have mercy on me. So this is also a great time for the athletes of the NBA and the NHL and MLB to learn how social media actually works. And like I said last show, influencer marketing for all those that are influencers has moved from Instagram to Twitter. So if you're an athlete and you're not on Twitter, you should really get on Twitter, because that's where most of the money now is going to be made. It's going to be made on Twitter. It's not going to be made on Instagram anymore, because Instagram is so saturated. It's overly saturated with so many people that it's not working as well as it used to. And now that they changed the scope of Instagram, for example, underneath it you can't see how many likes, right? So you can see it says liked by. If one person I know likes a post on Instagram, it'll tell me. So I'll just say Jane Doe. So it says Jane Doe and others. So it doesn't give you the number anymore, for those that don't know. It only does that, by the way, on active users. So if you're not an active user, you can still see your number. So I have a client of mine that's not an active user. He just started. I just started him off on Instagram, so I can see how many people like his posts. But once he becomes an active user, Instagram is going to realize he's an active user because of the algorithm, and that's going to go away. So he won't be able to see the number. But that's also why influencing marketing on Instagram is dying, because you can't see the numbers anymore. So how do you know how many people like to post? So companies were going based on followers and based on the number of likes on posts, which was the stupid asinine thing, because everybody was people were buying fake followers. They're upping their numbers, because the more people they had following, the more money they made. And the company didn't check to make sure that their engagement was high. See, that's where you can tell if that influencer is a legit influencer or not. Their engagement has to be high. So now, in order for athletes to make really good money on Twitter, they have to have a high engagement. And I did this whole entire show last week, so you can watch it. It's on YouTube. You can go back on my Facebook page, and you can see it on my Facebook page, and also it's on my Twitter account too. But it basically went through the whole entire spiel of how and which athletes have the most money. And actually, LeBron James can make the most. His Twitter is worth a lot of money, millions of dollars, and he can probably make $2 million per post on Twitter alone. That's how much his Twitter account is worth. More so than his Instagram, and that goes for lots and lots and lots of athletes. So it's very interesting of how it shifts, but that's how social media works. Everything on social media is always going to expand. It's going to change. It's going to shift. You're going to have, how Facebook used to be number one, and then Instagram became number one, and then YouTube was number one for a short period of time, and then Twitter was up there. It was never really number one. But then all of a sudden TikTok came into the picture, and it blew Instagram right out of the water, like out of nowhere. That's what happens. And now people are using LinkedIn. So LinkedIn's another one. So, and that comes back in the mix. And Pinterest came back into the mix this year. I've had really high success on Pinterest, and I post these videos on Pinterest, and I have a high success rate on Pinterest. So you can do lots of different things with all different platforms, but you have to know your platform. You can't do the same thing on one and expect the same results on another when each platform is different. They're not all built the same. So that pretty much sums it up. So we'll sum it up from the beginning. 1, wash your hands. You should be washing your hands, and even when this virus goes away, you should not stop washing your hands. Wash your damn hands. 2, if you're sick, stay home. Don't go out. I don't care what you're going to miss. It's not worth it. Stay home. 3, research. And when people like me actually research, don't be negative. Because I'll just be sassy back to you. Read the damn thing. That's first. Don't comment on a post until you read what's there. Like, when there's an article, freaking read it before commenting and looking stupid. 3.B. Research. Okay? Research. Don't just believe it because you see it. Just because you see it doesn't mean it's necessarily true or not. And just be calm. Stay calm. There's no need to be going every single store and buying everything out. Okay? We're not going to turn into zombies tomorrow. Even though tomorrow is Friday the 13th. Just be calm. Act rational. And use some common sense. And we'll all get through it together. And sports will be back on. I'm telling you, I said it. Where? I wish Al was on here from my New York Rangers group there. Didn't I say 2 weeks? That's what I'm reading. 2 weeks. They're gonna take 2 weeks and evaluate where everybody is for the NHL season in 2 weeks, and then maybe start up again. I said 2 weeks because that's the quarantine. You have to be quarantined for 2 weeks. I'm gonna go with 3 to 4. I'm gonna go with the end of the month of March. They'll probably start off by April Fool's Day. And it won't be a joke. They'll be starting. So, before my birthday. Damn it. All right. So that concludes the show. You can always replay it. You can always watch it from YouTube. I put it on Anchor later. Oh, that's tomorrow. So tomorrow on Anchor, I will give you my bonus coverage. You have to be on Anchor to listen to it. Or you can listen to it on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Radio, Public, and Breaker. But I will record that sometime tomorrow. I try to go in the morning and record it now in the mornings. So we'll see. And then I will share my link on Twitter and share my link on Pinterest. And that's where you can find those links. And then that's about it. So thanks for watching on Facebook. Thank you for watching up there. And I will see you all soon. Take care of yourselves and just be calm.
It's not just radio, it's Rockland World Radio. RocklandWorldRadio.com.